another stream. And boy, aren't we hammering these streams out? If you missed yesterday's stream, I did a like aftermath of the whole weekend. So I had a gig at the weekend at Humber Vibes in Hull. But I'd done a lot of other like really cool, amazing things over the weekend, and I just had like a proper, like mega positive weekend. So I thought let's just do an aftermath of the whole weekend. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch that. We rambled on for quite a while. I think the stream was nearly like an hour long, but there was a lot of things to talk about. I know we sidetracked a little bit. So we're back with another stream today, and I have a gig announcement. So you'll be pleased to know by the title that I'm returning back to Stoke on Trent on the 28th of October. So you may or may not know, but back in early July, I went to Bounce to Infinity in Stoke on Trent, and I played for their event, and I opened up the second room. And I've been invited back to Stoke on Trent on the 28th of October. Now, it's not to play for Bounce to Infinity. It's not for the same brand. It's not at the same nightclub. It's going to be somewhere completely different in Stoke on Trent. And it's going to be a really nice, fun sort of Halloween sort of bounce night that is going to hopefully go off. So there's loads of great talent upon the lineup, loads of great people, a few people that I have had the pleasure to meet, and a few people that I have the pleasure of knowing, and we all kind of like share the same passion for bounce music, and we've all been working on bangers and having bangers released and stuff like that. Some of us releasing on Excite Digital, others being very fortunate and lucky enough to have tracks that have come out on labels like Acceleration Digital and Bounce Heaven and stuff like that. And just in general, going to be a really good night meeting some new people as well, and catching up with some old friends, and meeting people that I've known online but obviously never met in person. And it should hopefully be just like a really good sort of positive vibe in general. So it's going to be really fun, and I'm going to drop loads of exclusives. Well, I say exclusives, I'm going to drop like some of my tracks that will have been released by then, and I'm going to drop some stuff probably that I'm working on at the time, like stuff that I've maybe like finished but I haven't managed to get it released yet. And I'm looking forward to what the future's going to hold in terms of my production and stuff. And I've got a little something up my sleeve that, as far as I'm aware, nobody has ever, and I mean ever, I could be wrong, but that I'm aware of, nobody has like literally ever tackled a version of this track, and it's going to be so different. And I guarantee it's going to be one of them tracks as well that people had just like completely forgotten about. And when people hear it again, they'll be like, "Oh my god, I remember this!" Like, it's just such a, it's a weird tune, but it's a really unique tune, and I've always kind of liked it. And it's kind of really weird, but it's one of them tunes where I don't always think about it. Like, it's one of them tunes where I'll completely forget about it, and then all of a sudden I'll remember that tune, and it has like it's just got a really weird vibe to the whole song, and the music video to it as well is actually like quite weird as well. And it's got a bit of rapping in it, and it's like that's the only kind of clue I'm gonna give you. But the like the chorus, it's got like a real nice real like it's like a real nice soothing singing, but it almost kind of gives like a little bit of a creepy vibe to it as well. And it was just one of them like really weird songs, but it actually did like quite well at the time. And I do believe the people behind the track, I do believe they still perform it live, and they've done it live on big stages. And I don't really know what like genre it really falls under, but it just most definitely like hits a little differently. And I don't know where I first heard it. I can't remember, but it's just one of them tunes that I feel like I've always known it, and like I'll forget about it, and then it'll come back to me, and then I thought to myself like I would, just actually do a remix of it, and that I'm aware of, no one has. I've not managed to find anyone else's. So the first thing for me with the tune was obviously to, I had to really work out like sort of like what key is it in, and stuff like that. And there's no like literally like nothing to help me with this tune. Like you can't download a MIDI. There's like one guy who plays it on guitar, and he plays it really really well on guitar as well. But it's so hard to like follow him and like copy the notes. It was like a really, I was trying to listen and I was getting so close, but I just literally was not exactly there. So what I actually did is I actually brought the original track into FL Studio, and then I actually edited the sample, and I converted the sample into a MIDI, which you can do that, and they work to an extent. They don't always work perfectly. They don't always detect like every note perfectly, but I just thought kind of like if I can get it to work, then like this would be obviously like a really cool thing. So I managed to do that, and I managed to get the bass notes, and if I can get the bass notes, then I can work with the track, because I can make like other parts of the track like following the bass notes. So like I can do strings sort of following the bass notes, and I can do like sub basses in the breakdowns following the bass notes, and stuff like that. So I'm hope, because it's got little bit of a creepy vibe to it. I'm not gonna say like it's a full on Halloween track, but I am gonna try and get this. I mean, I've not. Like I say, I've not even started it yet. I've just kind of like detected the key and the notes, and just sort of done like a real sort of like basic sort of, just so I could see if it'd actually work, and then I'm going to actually, pick like and go back and actually write the proper thing. I'm in a project now, but this project, like, I'm not even going to save it. I'm just going to like literally take a screenshot of the bass notes, so I can remember like what keys they are, and then I'm going to actually go like and properly write it, and start probably working on it tonight. Maybe just briefly, or I might just start working on it tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to get that completed for the gig. And then, of course, I'll be playing High Hopes and Play It Alive, and I'll be playing Hangover as well, I would imagine, and just playing stuff like that, and taking it from there essentially, and seeing how it goes seeing how it goes in that sense. And yeah, it should hopefully be a really fun gig. It'll be something quite fun, something quite magical, and it'll just be nice to go back down there as well. So I think I'm gonna do I'm just gonna stay in the same hotel that I did last time. It is a little bit of a further distance from that hotel, I think, to well, the original nightclub where the event was going to take place. It's actually announced it's shutting down. So that I know the promoter was finding another venue, and then like the artists and stuff. There was like a video that came out with the artists that are playing, and I got like announced in the video. So essentially, I thought, because I've kind of been announced, that I'll announce like on my socials if that makes sense. But I'm not sure like if the new venue is gonna, how close or how far it'll actually be from the hotel, from the hotel itself. Um, from obviously where I'm staying. When I did the Bounce to Infinity, it was actually a really close walk. It was almost like I kind of hit the jackpot with finding that hotel. I like really hit the jackpot there. It was something for me that was just amazing that I managed to find one that was like literally about a 10-minute walk. And whereas I think for this new one with their original venue, I think it was a little bit more like a half an hour walk, which was all gravy for me. I don't mind like a half an hour, 40-minute walk. It doesn't, I like walking. Um, but it's more the fact of like doing it in the early hours, like because you don't always know who's about, and if you've got a real nice sort of quick 10-minute walk back to your hotel after a night out, like it's just a little bit better. But then they say like the worst things can happen like closer to home. So what I mean by that is like you could walk back sort of 40 minutes from somewhere and you could be completely fine, and then you could literally only have to walk back like 10 minutes from somewhere, and you can just bump into an absolute just some form of fug or something. And they say the same with crashes as well. They say you can travel for miles like on a motorbike or in a car and not crash, and then you can do something as simple as like just taking a drive to the supermarket, and you'll end up having a crash. So but like I say, because I know the hotel and it was a nice hotel, the room was amazing. I'll probably just end up going back to that room, to be honest. It was a decent price as well for what you got. Like there was a smart telly, the beds were really comfy, the kitchen was really nice. It even had like a microwave and stuff in it. It just had a really nice vibe to it. It felt more like somewhere nice to stay, and not just a DOS house for the night. Whereas when I went to Leicester, no disrespect, the bed was really comfy, but just that the rest of the room felt. I mean, I did pay like a real cheap price for it, but it really did feel cheap. It really felt like it was just a room with a couple of beds, and there was a like a weird smell to it as well. Like an old fashioned smell. Like kind of almost like, no offenses, but like being in like an old person's bedroom. It just didn't have that like modern feel to it, and it felt like it lacked in a lot of things, and it probably just the place probably just could have done with like a little bit of a refurbishment. And there was almost like a little like worktop unit downstairs, and there was like a microwave and something on it, and when you just think, I wouldn't really want to put something in that microwave, really eat here. Like it's all right just to get your head down, but I don't think I'm gonna start having a 3-course meal here, and sitting down. It just as I say, when I was there, I drank that water, and it didn't actually make me feel too good. Having that bottle of water. So I think just getting my head down in the bed there was enough. But no, with the one in Stoke, there was just a really nice feel to it. So I'd definitely be going back there. And Bounce to Infinity, they obviously said that they'd be having me back as well at some point. So we'll see how that goes as well. We'll see what happens in that sense. And again, if they do have me back, I'll go back to that same hotel. Because they were nice staff as well. And I'd rather give like where there's nice staff, like I'd rather give them the custom rather than like when I know they're all right and I know they're nice, and I know that I'm getting a good night's stay over in their hotel. It's not too far from the train station either, and it wasn't too, it's not too far from a few shops and things, and there was a real nice cafe called the London Cafe that was right near it as well. So you can go and have a bit of breakfast and stuff like that as well in the town, which is obviously you could have breakfast at the thingy, but because I was doing like a nightclub, I wasn't obviously up at like 8 o'clock for the breakfast, and then you check out at 10. So I'm more having breakfast at like 11. Do you know what I mean? So like the breakfast there for me, not saying it'd be a bad breakfast, but just the timing, probably be no good. Saying that, once you've checked out, you probably could go and still sit in the restaurant. But I don't think, I think you had to like pay for the breakfast like separately. I don't think like the breakfast was in with your, with your room stay. So, but the London cafe was very nice, and the service was good, and they actually gave me another a second cup of tea on the house as well, and said, here, have this, have a cup of tea on me. And I just thought, oh, thank you, like very nice of you, to do that, to give me a cup of tea on the second hand, that sort of thing. It was really nice, so I was buzzed. So yeah, so like I say, I'm looking forward to returning back to Stoke. It should hopefully be a really good vibe, providing everything goes to plan. And yeah, so a big shout to Gemma, aka DJ Lashes, for getting me involved in her party, and she's also got me involved on a Facebook page to do some potential live streaming in the future. And you know me, I like to, I played on like various different pages and radio stations like over the time, and I do like to move along and come onto these different pages and try different things out. I've played on good pages and bad pages. There's pages that I definitely like never go back to. There was one page in particular, and it's still I still talk about it today, because I just didn't like the experience that sort of happened in regards to the page I was playing on. But for whatever reason, the page is still in existence, and people are still associating with it. People still seem to play on the page, and the page runs club events now as well, and people tend to be like absolutely buzzed to be on the lineup. And then, even though I tell them my experience, it's just like they still sort of like go ahead like with the booking. I mean, obviously, like, it's not my job to tell people like where they can and can't play, but I had a pretty, I mean, the experience I had with them is I was playing for a page, and I ain't gonna mention the page because I don't like bringing and causing like loads of drama to the scene. It's not me. But I was playing for a page, and we was playing for we did like there was like a charity event that took place. It was like a live streaming charity event. It was raising money, all the rest of it. So of course I said, look, yeah, I'm always down to help out for things like that. So yeah, I'll play for a charity event, and I'll help out. And then there was a massive kick off, and there was a massive going on and an argument, and the woman of the page stole the charity money, and spent the charity money on drugs, essentially. And that is something that I'm completely not okay with. And there was a massive sort of like argument, sort of revolving these accusations. And then there was like an old newspaper article that came up about some money being stolen in the past. And I just decided at this point, well, this is not the kind of thing I want to be associated with. Whether the money was stolen or not, it just caused all this drama. I just didn't want to be around it, didn't want to be involved with it. The fact that there was a newspaper article suggesting that there was like like money had been stolen in the past to take to buy drugs and stuff, and conveniently it was the same name. It was the same name in the newspaper article, but according to the person running the page at the time, it was a different person. It wasn't her. And then I got accused of messaging like accounts like on the page, like as the page, like me, because obviously when you go live on them pages, you get permission to access their page. So apparently, I was going into the inboxes of that page, and I was inboxing people and like causing like unnecessary drama. Or something like that. So in the end, I think I just got blocked by the owner, and like I say, I choose not to associate with the page. But people still, like, now and again, they'll send me like a link to that page in their inbox, like it's going live, or support me, I'm on this lineup. And I just tell them straight. I just say, look, I don't support this page. I don't have anything to do with this page. Don't associate me with the page. And then they'll go like, oh, why? And then I'm like, well, because the owner was, there was a big going on a couple of years back about the owner stealing charity money that we'd all raised, to buy drugs, etc. And they're like, oh my God, that's shocking, as if they do that. And then the next day, it's like, can't wait to play this event. And it just baffles me. Like, I know we're all in the music scene, and I know we're all, in some sense, like, we're all wanting to get somewhere, we're all wanting to achieve something. But don't get me wrong, like, you know me, like, I love my music, I've got a passion for my music, but there comes a point, like, even my biggest passions, like, I would never in a million years like support people that like that like do things like stealing charity money. And there's people that like they get outed online for like battering their other half, and then they're like putting events on, and then like people, they're all like begging and jumping for a set, and they're all like ranting and raving, I can't wait to be part of this lineup. And I'm thinking, like, you want to associate, and you want to talk, and play for people that go around like battering their other halves. Like, people are so desperate to get somewhere that it doesn't matter whether the promoter's a woman beater or a nonce, or they steal charity money, and like, you can tell them that oh, this is what they've done. But then, like, the next day, oh, I can't wait to play this event, and I'm thinking, like, oh well, if that's who you want to associate with, you toodle off that way and associate with them. But don't send links about their lineups and pages and live streams and whatever they're doing next. Don't send it to my inbox, and don't tag me in posts regarding regarding that sort of situation, because you know it's just crazy. But yeah, so like I say, I'm looking forward to playing this new page, and I like to move around and play on different pages and get around, and but like I say, there is pages that I would go back to. Like, I'd hop back onto Uproar Scotland. I used to enjoy doing a few live streams on there. It's been a while since I've done some as well, so it would be really nice to hop on there and do some live streams on there again. And obviously, I did Aurora Core for a while, and then I left Aurora Core, and then I returned back and did a couple of months on there again and left. And I probably wouldn't go back there again. I've done a couple of times on there, and sadly, I got my slot was not as important as the owner of the page doing a Twitch raid. So essentially, it was kind of like, change your slot or leave the page. And I was thinking, like, and the thing about it is the owner of Aurora Core at the time wasn't even doing the raid from the Aurora Core page. It was from her like own personal page. So like, I could have still had like followers that lock in, because at the time when I was streaming on there was people that locked in like Thursday at 9:30, there was like a Pacific audience that had got used to locking in at that time, and they probably still would have locked in along with with some other people. So the fact that she was Twitch raiding just probably would not have even affected it. But for whatever reason, she wanted all the limelight, and then we tried to discuss some other times, but obviously I was working and I had other commitments that I couldn't just obviously like I couldn't just say, yes to so and so when I had other commitments. So we tried a few other dates, and then in the end, I just said, look, we're going round in circles here. Let's call it a day. If your Twitch raid is more important than than a brand that you're trying to build, then at the end of the day, try and build that brand without me. So I left that sadly. The Harder Southwest that came to an end. I mean that page just died. I used to love my slots on there, and then all of a sudden it was like I was going live and the admins weren't coming in to share it, and the views dropped, and I was trying to share it the best I could, but apart from that, no one really knew that I was on or there was a live stream happening. COVID came to an end and everybody sort of went back to work as well. And I just thought, like, if people aren't gonna admins aren't gonna actually admin the page and come on and share the fact that I'm live, then again, we're just going around in circles here, which I was kind of gutted because at the time it was like quite a big sort of progressing, growing page, and I was like proper buzzed to be a part of it. Which was that was obviously a shame. The Welsh is banging streams. That page was truly an amazing page that I played for. I never actually had a bad experience with that page. I just sadly I just got busy, and because I was playing other pages at the time still as well, and doing other bits and bobs, I just got to the point where I felt like I wasn't committing to them, and I felt bad myself that I wasn't like picking up slots, and obviously I just decided that I'll just take a break from there and not go live on there anymore, because I didn't want to feel like I was there but not committing, if that makes sense. And since then, they've asked me like if I wanted to come back, or if I'd come and do some like guest slots, and I have agreed to come back and do some guest slots, but I've just never got round to doing it yet. I've not got round to picking up any guest slots, and I'm trying to think of like other pages that I've been a part of, and I don't think there has been. I don't think there has been many more than that, to be completely honest with you. I've done a couple of my own pages myself. I did the My House to Your House, which that kind of died because that was kind of more of a like just a streaming lockdown thing, and there was nothing I could really do to take it like beyond that, because it was kind of like streaming from my house and you was watching from your house. That was the kind of, so putting an event on My House to Your House, just the whole vibe of it just didn't really make sense, because it then wasn't watching, it wasn't then listening to my house music from your house. Do you know what I mean? So it just kind of, to me, it didn't make sense, and Layman Radio died, which sadly died, which that was where that sort of originated. Sunday church service, that again, that was kind of like a lockdown thing. I wanted to bring it back, but then there's just quite a bit that goes into it, and people aren't really like, only like pages that are doing well and hammering streams all the time, are just hitting like big numbers, and then it's finding people that will like admin, that will just admin the event and stuff, and share all the streams, and then you've got all the copyrights to battle with, and stuff like that, which you thought, I just can't be, I just really can't be bothered with it. But I think if I do bring it back, I'd like to bring it back possibly on like an online radio station instead, and then that way you've got like people in the chat room, and you've got people that will just automatically like monitor your sound and stuff, and we'll take it, we'll take it from there. if that makes sense. But yeah, apart from that, I can't remember any other pages. So like I say, it'll be nice to jump onto this new one. Be nice to jump onto this fresh one, and and do some stuff, on there. And yeah, so the event, new page streaming, stuff happening, stuff going on. I'm gonna cut from this stream now because it's actually getting quite late, and I've got a couple of meetings tomorrow with work. They're all positive, they're all productive meetings, but well, I'm gonna kind of miss a big chunk of one meeting because there's another meeting at the same time, and then I'm gonna like literally pop over to the other meeting and get some photographs and stuff taken. So it's gonna be a little bit of a different one. So I'll miss like part of one meeting and then go and get some photographs, but I'll be like fully in attendance at another meeting. But depending on how long the first meeting is will kind of depend on what time we get to the second meeting. But luckily there's someone else who's going to both meetings, so they've actually offered to give me a lift, which is a really nice thing. So I'm pleased about that. And it's not a mega far. It's not a mega far distance between the two meetings, to be completely honest. They're kind of like opposite each other, but kind of like you've got like one meeting here, but then you've got like the other meeting that's like right over there, but it's kind of like opposite. So you've kind of got to like come out and then go up, and then you've kind of got to like turn and go like right the way down here, and then you've got to like curve round and then go on to like another street. So I guess like you've got one meeting here, but then you've got another meeting like right back there, but it's kind of like further back, if that makes sense. So like you've got to come out, go right, like down and round. Like it's walkable, but just with the time that from leaving one meeting and getting to the other, it makes sense to obviously grab the lift. So yeah, so that's going to do it. Also, before I do go, I have forgot to mention another gig actually. So I've got a gig this Friday. There's not going to be a flyer for it. It's something a little bit different, but nevertheless, it's still a music gig. So essentially, on Friday, a guy who has followed me since the MCing days. So he's followed me on Instagram and Facebook for quite a long time, and he's been a bit of a fan, and a lot of his mates have been a bit of a fan. Well, sadly, he's moving to Australia, and he's hosting a little bit of a party on Friday night at King's, where I did the Humber Vibe on Saturday. And I've been invited to go down and do a little bit of MCing, as he's followed me for quite a lot of years. And he wants to just have a little bit of a send off and a few drinks with his mates before he emigrates to Australia. So I said, look, I'll happily come down. So this Friday I'm going to be on the mic, not for very long, just about 20 minutes or something. So I won't be staying there like mega long, because no offences, but I don't really know the guy. Like I know him like for following me and supporting me, and I've seen him like through social media, and I have actually met him like just on the odd occasion, like walking through like Hull city centre or something. But he's not like what you'd call like a massive pal. So I'll just go there, catch the vibe for a little bit, stay for maybe a couple of hours, and then head back, because on Saturday there's an event going on at the Doncaster warehouse, and I haven't completely decided whether I want to go to it yet, but there's a big part of me that is like really tempted to go to it. And there's a hard house tidy event going on at the Doncaster warehouse, and it works out like if I went, like it'd work out really perfect for me, because it actually starts at 2 in the afternoon and goes on till something like midnight at night. Now, the good thing about that is that 2 in the afternoon, I can go there on the train. That's no issue, and I can come back on the train. The last train is like something like 20 past 11. Or something like that. It's like 20 past 11 or something. So like literally, I could like literally get the last train back. And I'd literally more or less catch the full event, apart from like just having to maybe dash off at like, I don't know, like 10:30, 11 or something, just to make sure that I get to the station in time. But like the station's like very close to the warehouse, but I just like to make sure that I'm at a station in good time, because if you miss that train, you are like literally screwed for the night. Do you know what I mean? And it would be like a really long night if you was stranded all night. So it doesn't kill, like, just to leave a little bit earlier. But the good thing about it is like, a lot of the acts on the lineup, like the Tidy Boys themselves, and the likes of Lee Aslam and stuff, they're all on at times that are like not close to me having to like go home, if that makes sense. So like, the good thing about it is like I could capture their sets, and I've never really been to like a proper good hard house event, and I am a big lover of like Tidy Boys and hard house, and it'll be like a really good thing. And there's a couple of people I know that are going as well, and there's 3 rooms, and it'll just be like really good. There's an outdoor room, an upstairs room, and the main room. And I just thought, we've got this belting weather as well at the moment, so it would be quite nice to hit up that event. I've not been into the warehouse for a good while as well, so it'd be really nice to go back there and capture a little bit of like hard house sounds and trance sounds, and maybe a bit of bounce as well. I don't know fully like what's going off, but I know there'll be hard house going off, and I know there'll be like trancy vibes going off, and they've got Billy Gillis back there as well. So it'd be really nice to see the man like Billy Gillis, and it'd just be a nice event. So I'm not fully decided yet, because the tickets aren't the cheapest, and then you've got to still pay the train fare as well. But I'm very tempted. I'd love to hit up the event. So we're gonna see sort of like roughly what goes down, and see about maybe hitting it up. So yeah, so that's gonna do it. Make sure to like, comment, share, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you soon. Boom.